What's up, everybody? I hope you're enjoying the new studio here at Rock Feed. Always trying to improve things for you, so it's out with the old and in with the new. Reinvesting in all of your support. You guys made this possible, so thank you so much. Machine Gun Kelly is back in the headlines, and he has, apparently it's making TMZ, it's making everybody talking about this extremely controversial new guitar made by Machine Gun Kelly, released by Schecter Guitars. It's probably going to sell very well because of Machine Gun Kelly's popularity alone, but there are a lot of folks talking about the image, the design of this guitar, and really taking issue with it. We're going to get to that in just a second, but Machine Gun Kelly is a person who, without question, he has been involved in a lot of feuds, controversies, whatever you want to call it. He's unafraid to speak his mind. Sometimes he's right, sometimes he's wrong. I think he was wrong in the case of Slipknot, but I'm also of the mind that we should forgive people, and I think that was years ago, and I think that he really kind of has moved past it. He really took ownership over the situation from his own standpoint, and Corey has moved on, and it's just kind of pointless to keep rehashing that. And he's done a lot of things. I don't want to focus entirely on something I disagree with. He's also done a lot of things that I really do agree with. I don't think he's a bad guy. I really don't. I think he's a person who is just trying to figure his way out through life, just as all of us are. And I think that just like anyone, he makes mistakes at times, and he's an imperfect person. But one of the things that's interesting about him is that he very much is willing to own up to his mistakes or go through them and process them in public. And I think that's why he's connected with fans in the way that he has, is because of that. So, you look at these feuds, the feud with Eminem, Rap Devil and all that stuff, and then the feud with Slipknot. It's all water under the bridge now pretty much at this point. I mean, I don't know about with Eminem, but, I think with Slipknot, neither parties are focused on this. And as Corey said, he said in an interview with Allison Hagendorf, he really even saw some similarities between him and MGK. And I just thought that was interesting when he said that. But here is the situation now. This new guitar with Schecter's Guitars is designed like a razor blade, and there are a lot of folks out there who are saying that he is essentially glorifying self-harm in the design of the guitar. But this really brings a question. If we're going to psychoanalyze and really go hard on MGK over this and criticize him for it, you really are wading into a territory where it becomes, let's analyze the message behind that song and what's that song about, and it's kind of limiting someone's creative expression. I am totally understanding that you don't want to glorify anything. I don't necessarily know that that's what's going on here, but I do have a video clip of MGK explaining the meaning behind it. So first, let's just take a look at the guitar. Let's go to Schecter's website and look at the pricing, all of that, and try to make heads or tails of what exactly is going on here. All right, so here is that design up on Schecter's website. And first and foremost, I just got to say, I kind of like it. I mean, it's ridiculous. I love ridiculous guitar designs. It's silly. Like, I just want to say, I want to give all credit to a person who kind of introduced me by his love of crazy guitars, and that is the one and only Jarris Johnson, where he's got a very cool and eccentric guitar collection. One of them is this giant flaming American flag, and I just love that. And this is kind of in that vein where it's like, I mean, first of all, how are there not going to be playthrough videos of people who have gotten this guitar and are testing it out? I mean, is this a guitar that you're going to get up on stage and play, this complicated music? No, but it's kind of a lit design. That's just my take on it. But let's just look at some other pictures here. You can see the close-ups, etc. The specs. I don't really know much about the specs of a guitar. I'm a fan of guitars. But you can see the specs here for those of you that are into that. Much respect to all the guitarists that tune into this channel. You guys are a big part of keeping rock and roll alive. If you're thinking about picking up a guitar, I hope you do that in 2024. Look, and maybe the Schecter Machine Gun Kelly razor blade can be that introduction for you. But seriously, people that play guitar, it's important. It matters. It keeps the genre alive. But, so there you have that. Now let's go into some of the reaction here. The reaction has come from a lot of people. First of all, I just want to say this. I believe the people that are taking issue with this guitar design are doing so with good intentions. So this was really kind of first, the attention was brought from State of the Scene podcast. They do good work. And they wrote, Schecter have announced a new guitar for Machine Gun Kelly's signature collection. The Machine Gun Kelly Razor Blade is available now for $14.99. So then you have sharing that post, Ollie Appleyard from Static Dress. This is an up-and-coming band. What I've heard of them so far, I really like. They wrote, I fucking hate living on this planet. And Machine Gun Kelly actually responded to that. The post got widely circulated. It got about 10,000 likes on the post. You have MGK writing, words from a jealous musician who never made it. The response, DW bro, just continue to push horrific themes to literal children. Machine Gun Kelly, he goes on kind of, he responds to this repeatedly. There are people in the comments going, y'all are missing out on everything. And this is Machine Gun Kelly kind of explaining the idea behind this guitar. I don't know when this was from, but this is him explaining the concept and his own mindset behind this design. He says it comes from his album Tickets to My Downfall, and that's where it comes from. You read the lyrics, we can go into that as well, but this is what he's saying.
It's kind of an ode to Tickets to My Downfall, the line on title track, and also an ode to my 20s and all the crazy times that I had.
So you hear him describing it himself. He's not overtly pushing any sort of messages there. He's just talking about his past. And he responded more to Ollie from Static Dress writing, you can continue to show them how to be shallow-minded and not look at art with any depth. I've done my job as an artist by creating conversation. You've done yours as an idiot by not having the capacity to understand my message. Now, it becomes clear here that MGK, what he's really alluding to is that he is not going to explain his art. He doesn't feel that he needs to explain his message. And I mean, kind of that is what art is about. Art is extremely subjective and it's open to interpretation from various different people. But this is what Machine Gun Kelly actually responded to this saying, I'll never explain my art because true art is conversational and always up for interpretation. But I will say, most of you constantly interpret it wrong and then blame me for your version of what you think my art is. Ultimately, I'm sad at how people perceive me in general. Peace. You also have Metal Burb, who is a popular YouTuber who weighed in on the circumstance as well. Nothing but respect to him. But this is what he said, and MGK also had a response to that. So he shared, I know MGK sucks and people don't like him, but what's up with the guitar being a razor? It's almost like it's glorifying self-harm. Schecter, man, the scene has problems with mental health and making tools that can cause self-harm looking cool is actually super lame. Also, the guitar is hideous, but that's just obvious. MGK says in the comments, you show your lack of depth by taking art at face value. This has nothing to do with any of the subject matter you just presented. So no, my friend, you suck. He responds, I actually don't mind your music, man. I find it catchy, and if you get more people into punk, that's a plus in my book. It's more the majority of my followers don't like your music is what I meant at the beginning. But this guitar ain't it, in my opinion. The pink one is badass, but the razor design doesn't sit well with me. I know it's not your intent like I assumed, but the kids will think razors are cool, and the emo pop punk scene is notorious for self-harm, and kids are super impressionable and look up to you. More calling out Schecter here, but that's just my 2 cents. And now you also have Falling in Reverse frontman Ronnie Radke weighing in on this as well, and he is coming to the defense of Machine Gun Kelly. And this is what he had to say on social media. Ronnie responded to Metal Burb and he wrote, my guy, I'm not jumping on any sides here, but come on. Have we gotten so lost that we're now complaining about a razor blade guitar because it might trigger someone to self-harm? But you turn around and give my video of me murdering people with guns a thumbs up. Like, I like you, bro. Let the man live. And he also responded, my timeline is just a bunch of 15-passenger van bands complaining about MGK. Makes me realize so much. In this case, I would say Machine Gun Kelly is kind of the person pushing free speech. And, is he overtly pushing a message about self-harm? I would say no. Has he repeatedly spoken about uplifting his fans in the past and helping them and relating to them? Yes, he has. So I think you have to look at someone's intentions here. I don't think he has reckless intentions. And again, when you wade into those waters of what's he trying to say here, you get into that territory of what's this song about? What's that song about? There are so many songs, not just in heavy metal, but in other genres where you can take issue with the messages that are being presented, and then that just opens a whole nother can of worms. So it's a complicated issue, but ultimately on this one, I got to go with MGK because I feel as though I don't think he's intending to push anyone into any bad directions. I think that he is portraying the image of a rock star. I think that he's repeatedly done this over and over again, and I don't believe that he has any ill intentions for his audience. And, you know, there was a time in metal, if you look back into the past, where a group of people were trying to hold metal musicians accountable for some of their lyrics and, the satanic panic, as they would call it. You play the song backwards and it's causing people to do this. And it's just a little bit too close to that kind of territory for me to be comfortable with this discourse because I just feel like, you walk into that, what's this guitar about? You get into what's the song about. I just think you've got to let artists express themselves. And so that's how I feel. I would love to hear how you all feel in the comments. Anyways, y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in. That's your latest update from Rockfeed. Be sure to hit that subscribe button for the latest news and updates.